So there's a small YouTube channel named Sadagascar, and just like his name, I'm actually feeling like a sad and disappointed Madagascar character right now. I'm actually a fan of Sadagascar, so to see him make a video like this that he uploaded on July 2nd, 2025, or around 24-ish hours ago as of I'm making this video in July 3rd, 2025. Now, of course, I'm a sensitive snowflake, so please take this video with a grain of salt. These are all allegations. At the end of the day, I'm just some doofus talking about random stuff. Nothing can be confirmed as a fact beyond a shadow of a doubt. I'm just here to give my opinion. And I'm also certainly not a forensics expert or anything like that. I'm no professional in any capacity. So my opinions might as well just be thrown into the void. But I'm just here to give my take on it. And I genuinely think that Sadagascar's made a really bad video, and I'm just here to talk about it. And before we continue, of course, please don't go harassing Sadagascar or anyone associated or remotely related to him whatsoever. I just want to give my take on the video, mainly because number one, I love complaining. Number two, I think that the way the video is made, I just can't in good faith sit around and watch, and especially because I have an actual platform now, my voice actually kind of slightly matters. So might as well use it for what I think is good. And also, third of all, Willie Tato needs those views, baby! So with that being said, let's begin. The video that I want to focus on today is the video called The Funniest Stalker Ever. Now, I know that's certainly not a flattering title to say the least. It's similar to O.J. Simpson's If I Did It. But I didn't actually click on his video until I started eating my gumchiang with lapsung for lunch. Fired up a Sadagascar video, realized I didn't watch this one, and I started watching it. And after a while, I watched it, and I decided to make a video on this thing right away because, for one, he thinks that a beauty influencer being stalked is funny. Think about that for a moment. He thinks that a beauty influencer being stalked is funny. Now, have a picture in your head, okay? And this is going to be very important later. And two, at the end, I just feel like at the end, the way he said, "Oh, this is freaking creepy," is kind of insincere and felt last minute, so I didn't feel like he was promoting stalking. But let me just start slow here, and I'm not going to show any clips just in case this dude is an absolute menace behind the scenes and decides to just start copyright striking me. So yeah, I'm just going to summarize the entire video for you, and along with it, all my problems. At the beginning, he's talking about this beauty influencer named Dylan Latham, a guy. The guy that he describes to be in the looks maxing community, aka what I considered to be a part of the beauty community, so a beauty influencer. You didn't see that coming, right? Let me tell you about it later. He then talks about C-Dad, the guy who's allegedly, of course, quote-unquote, stalking and harassing Dylan Latham. And he also describes him to be interesting and mysterious, and overall, he's just setting the context for what's been going on recently with Dylan Latham. Then, at approximately 1:55 into the video, he states, and I quote, "This is Sadagascar." We'll get into that later, but basically this guy has posted 5 different videos of him going up to Dylan Latham and just saying the same shit over and over. He goes, "Yo, Dylan Latham, can you do the dance with the pants?" And just the fact that it's Dylan Latham and this guy's like stupid ass voice it just makes the video so fucking funny. And now back to me. Well, to me, in my opinion, what I have to say to that is, first of all, it is not funny to be harassing people. It is certainly not funny to be walking up to the same guy, bothering him with some stupid question in what I think is an obnoxious voice. And it certainly is not funny to be laughing at this guy getting stalked. Now, let me present to you the incel point of view here, because as you all know, treating men and women as equals is obviously for incels or radical feminists or whatever, you know? Remember when I told you to paint a picture of a beauty influencer being stalked? Yeah, imagine if this was a beauty influencer. Wouldn't be so funny now, huh? I certainly don't think so. This is a human being who, at the end of the day, has a life. And I certainly don't think that people should be laughing at this guy, who is clearly being bothered by another person. And if the victim was gender bent, C-Dad would probably be in the slammer, because, you know, it's a guy stalking a girl, that's really weird. But if it's a guy, that's okay, because that's supposed to be funny. And guys are not supposed to have emotions, apparently, as you will see later on in what Sadagascar says throughout the video. Later, at the 3-minute mark, exactly on the dot, when Sadagascar talks about the recent video, he says, and I quote, "This is Sadagascar," and this is where I think Dylan really didn't play his cards right, you know? He didn't laugh, he didn't smile. And this is back to me. What the hell was he supposed to do then? He's getting bothered by this random guy who he doesn't even know. Keep in mind, this is a guy that he doesn't know. This guy could literally have a knife on him, a gun on him, like some sort of weapon or something like that. Brass knuckles, nunchaku, or tonfas, I don't know. And on top of the fact that C-Dad isn't acting like a normal person, from Dylan's eyes, Dylan is in the presence of a goddamn meth head. He's expecting C-Dad to do some fent folds, you know, something like that. Like, this is some crazy guy who just coincidentally found him again and is making a day of his misery. That's not a good thing. We should not be supporting dickheads like C-Dad who constantly go out there and harass celebrities. That's called paparazzi. And in fact, dare I say this, I think C-Dad is similar to paparazzi. Imagine that, and this doesn't even have to be a woman, okay? Let's just keep this as like man-to-man type of thing. Imagine Ryan Reynolds or Keanu Reeves just constantly getting bothered by random people. Not even fans. Random people that they don't even know, just asking them to do a dance. And when they don't do it, everyone in the world gets mad because they wouldn't dance. They turn into people who dislike celebrities because that celebrity did not sit like a good boy. That's a horrifying mentality for Sadagascar, or anyone really, to be having, and it's sickening to a certain extent. And then after that, at the 4:36 mark, Sadagascar says something that is just appalling to me. He says, and I quote, again, these are all real quotes from his video, Sadagascar kicking in here, and like I said before, this was Dylan's biggest mistake, dude. Getting upset at a guy coming up to you and being like, yo, can you do the dance with the pants? And then giving a straight face and been mean mugging him and getting all that is not, no, dude. And that's something that he said. I think the captions got it wrong, but I'm just reading off captions so that way it doesn't look weird. And this is me kicking in once again. Is Dylan supposed to be the Weeping Angels? Is he supposed to be like stone-faced Mog C-Dad and grace him with this dance that he clearly does not want to do in front of this random creep? This goddamn wretch over here? No, Dylan is not a marionette. He's a freaking human being, and I can't believe that you would even say anything like this. This just doesn't make any sense. It's the biggest mistake to be frustrated, annoyed, or even mad at someone who's been going up to him out of nowhere and phasing through the walls and being this guy's boogeyman, apparently. That's like his biggest mistake, having emotions, being scared. It's natural to have emotions, and dare I say, it's natural for men to have feelings. And again, this entire video just seems to be made in poor taste, or probably just to piggyback off of a trend, but either way, no means no. You cannot be forcing this guy to do something like this, and you can't be mad at him for getting mad that someone is not taking no for an answer. And then at the 5:09 mark, when Sadagascar says that Dylan Latham got rage baited, that just sent me off the rails. No, that is not rage bait. What is rage bait is Jelly Bean. What is rage bait is Bella the Wolf. What semi-rage bait is my channel. What is not rage bait is stalking a guy, finding out where he lives, and constantly walking up to him and asking him the same goddamn question while sounding like a meth head. He can't even feel safe if he's constantly being found. Do you understand the severity of the danger that he could actually be in? It almost feels as if we never learned from the SS Sniper Wolf situation, where Jack's films got doxed and no one gave a hoot about it. And the reason why I mentioned this doxing is that 1, this is foreshadowing, and 2, this guy's location is constantly being found. This can severely damage Dylan's mental health, and no matter what, that is just not a good thing. Unless Dylan is like mysteriously a pedophile, then I don't really see any level of justification towards thinking that this type of behavior of what is essentially harassment is not okay whatsoever. And to top it all off, to trim it down to a low taper fade, you throw in a sponsorship at the 6:20 mark. You're literally monetizing yourself, saying that a guy getting stalked in real life is funny. I can't even believe you, man. This is just disappointing. Like, why do you think that's appropriate whatsoever? Like it's one thing to have an okay take on a very hot topic and then you throw in a sponsorship. It's another thing when you have a video like this where you are saying it's okay for a guy to be getting stalked because it's funny and that he should not be reacting the way he is to it, which is what any sensible human being would do, and then throwing in a sponsorship, that's just a kick to the nuts, man. That's weird. That's stupid. And like this stalker, well, not to the exact same extent, but similar to the situation. That is a weird and creepy thing to be doing, Sadagascar. Like, think! And just to buzz off all the hair because you messed up with that low taper fade, you decided to allegedly, of course, dox Dylan. Now, you tried to censor the TikTok handle and address, which I can respect. At least you're not completely lobotomized. However, you didn't censor any of the names of the nearby restaurants or lounges or dining centers. So if I was some sort of crazy Dylan fan, for example, C-Dad, I can just easily look up the location of those restaurants, find the location of that apartment, and just go there. And how would I find his apartment number? I don't really know. Just roam around the halls, add in like secret hidden cameras or something like that. I don't know. But it is now pretty easy to find where this guy lives. So yes, you did just, allegedly of course, technically dox Dylan Latham with sensitive information. Not on purpose, of course, because it seems like you had the intent to hide his address, you censored things, but you still did. You still doxed the area in which he lived in, therefore I can just find where he lived very easily. And I don't know, maybe it'll take me like a day at most, maybe 2 days, since I don't think I live near them. I'm not a weirdo. I didn't look up where that is before recording this, and I'm not gonna record it, or not record it. I'm not gonna look it up now, and I'm not gonna look it up after this video goes out, because that's weird. That's disgusting. And unlike you, Sadagascar, I understand that anyone getting stalked, well, besides, you know, like, pedophiles, like, I still think that, like, if they get stalked, then, like, not my problem. But anyways, you get the idea. At least I, as a kid, still understand the concept that anyone getting stalked is not okay. That is horrible, and that is disgusting, and that is horrifying. The last thing that I want to talk about is your quote at the 12:18 mark. You said, and this is Sadagascar, and, yeah, moral of the video, don't take shit so seriously, okay? End quote. And this is me now. As if a guy getting stalked is not that serious. But I mean, of course, it's because he's a guy and he's a beauty influencer. It's fine. Don't worry about it, you know? And this is obviously a very serious thing that needs to be taken seriously, and I don't understand why. Although you did say that it's weird for C-Dad to be doing this, it was somewhere in the video, I can't remember where you said that C-Dad was weird, I'm too lazy to look back for it. Although you probably said it was weird, from the way you talk and presented this video, it just seems to be you slightly and subconsciously backtracking on what you said, but you still went through with it at the end of the day. You should have listened to your gut, man. And it's still weird that I can't even believe that you would make a video where you just openly say, yeah, it's funny for this guy to get stalked. And even if all this was fake, even if C-Dad and Dylan are like collabing behind the backs of the public and this is just like rage bait, at the end of the day, number one, Sadagascar is still saying that it's funny for a guy to be getting stalked. And number two, these guys are faking to be stalked. And that's not okay because you are downplaying the victims who actually went through the traumas of getting stalked. And yeah, I mean, that's really about it. That's all I really gotta say. Overall, Sadagascar, this is just one messed up video you made, and it's not something that I would want you canceled over because I slightly enjoy your content and I think you're sometimes funny. It's just more of a please think before you actually speak type of video. Like, you guys actually need to understand, you as the audience need to understand that at the end of the day, people behind the camera, they're just normal people. They are just as mortal as you and I. Like, anyone and everyone can die. So we're all on the same level. Well, we're not all on the same level playing field. Let's be real here. There's like economic gaps. There's like social tension, ethnic wars, and whatever. So obviously we're all not born on an equal playing field because, you know, everyone's always at each other's throats and people are just born with more privileges, if that makes sense, obviously. But at the end of the day, you know, like, we're all human beings. We should all treat each other as human beings. And the same thing goes for celebrities. You should not be over-worshipping them or idolizing them way too much because at the end of the day, they're still mortal and they can still make mistakes. And there are just things that, you know, you need to acknowledge are bad things. Like, for example, if a guy's getting stalked, that's just as bad as a girl getting stalked. You know? These are things that we need to understand if we want to get together more as a society. If that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, as Sadagascar, I'm not going to stop watching him. He's great background noise for when I'm grinding Minecraft or Roblox. But I just want to see him be a better person, you know? That's about it. That's all I really gotta say. I hope you all have a good day, and bye.